Hey, hey, Warrior Saints. Happy Thursday and welcome to today's edition of our Crucifixional live stream. I am feeling a little nostalgic today and I want to share with you some of my nostalgia. I was very, very lucky back in the day. I got to sing for the Pope. Not the current Pope or the Pope before him, but Pope John Paul II, and I got to sing for him. Now that sounds pretty cool. I'm going to tell you the actual story now, not the way that I just spun it for you. In 2002, in May, the Duquesne University Chamber Singers went to Europe. And we did like a tour, like college choirs, high school choirs will often do these kinds of tours, and they'll start in one place and they'll travel by bus all over the place. They'll go to different musical festivals. They'll go to all over the place. The college I went to, Duquesne University, also had a campus in Rome. And so the end of our tour, we added an extra week and went through parts of Italy and ended in Rome. While in Rome, we were able to go to the papal audience. Now, when I heard that initially, I was like, whoa. Like, we get a papal audience. That's pretty cool. We're going to be in a room like you see on TV and all of those, TV shows that talked about history, historical dramas, whatever they're called, where people are meeting it one-on-one with the Pope, and we each get to meet the Pope, and we each get to say hi to the Pope. Like, that was going to be pretty cool. Until we got there. And we found out that we were in St. Peter's Square, which is huge. And there were 2 rows of chairs amidst thousands of chairs that everyone had tickets to go have their papal audience that day and hear the Pope speak his message and then go on their way. We were in 2 rows, and we were allowed, when they announced that we were one of the groups that were there, this was the big deal, that we were announced as being one of the groups that were there, we were allowed to stand up and sing for exactly 1 minute. As soon as that minute was done, whether or not we were still singing, the loudspeaker continued on with the next group. Didn't matter if they could hear or not. That was it. But I get to tell people I sang for the Pope. It's kind of interesting as we're continuing our looking at 1 Corinthians. This story jumped out at me as we get to the last 2 verses of chapter 1 from yesterday. I can tell this story in a way that makes me look like gigantic, like I was this phenomenal person who did all these wonderful things. And why didn't you pursue your music career, Greg, if you're able to do things like sing for the Pope? When in reality, it was just part of a college trip. It was part of a college tour. And as part of almost our tour of the Vatican, we ended by singing for exactly 60 seconds in front of the Pope, who was, I don't know, football field's length away. This isn't anything I did. I literally just paid the college the money so that I could go on the trip. Someone else coordinated all of the details. Someone else coordinated everything that went into it. Someone else even coordinated our going in front of the Pope. There was someone else doing the things. I was able to reap benefits based on that. That's not exactly what the Christian life is, though. Someone else has done the work, and we are called to emulate that work. We are called to see that work for what it is, to see that work as being life-giving, and to emulate that work and to follow in that work. And it's tough. But we hear at the end of chapter 1, God is the source of your life in Christ Jesus, whom God made our wisdom, our righteousness, and sanctification and redemption. Therefore, as it is written, let him who boasts, boast of the Lord. My boast should not be that I sang for the Pope. My boast should be of the Lord, who is the source of everything. I've been blessed to have many opportunities that were incredible opportunities. Some of them were given to me and made possible through God-given talents that I may have. Some of them through situations that I was in. Whatever it is, My job is not to boast about what I do. My job is to recognize the source of those gifts, boast of the Lord, and make sure that my actions match that. He goes on in chapter 2. When I came to you, brethren, I did not come proclaiming to you the testimony of God in lofty words or wisdom. For I decided to know nothing among you except Jesus Christ and him crucified. Our calling, brothers and sisters, is to know Christ crucified and to emulate that action so that our boast can be of the Lord. So that when we are showing the world what we are doing, we are showing the world the life of the warrior saint, the life of the crucified Messiah, the life of Christ that is to offer ourselves fully to others. St. Paul goes on, recognizing that it's tough. Says, I was with you in weakness and in much fear and trembling. My speech, my message were not in plausible words of wisdom, but in demonstration of the Spirit and of power, that your faith might not rest in the wisdom of men, but in the power of God. It's easy for us when we start to spin our stories in a way that make us look like we are the genie in Aladdin who comes out of the lamp screaming, phenomenal cosmic power! But in reality, when we do that, we're missing the point. We're losing sight of the fact that it is not us that are doing things. It is only through our crucifixional living that we are able to boast in the Lord and make our boast that which is the life that Christ has shown us, so that we might show others, so that we might be warrior saints and invite others to join that path. And that's precisely what we're trying to do here at the Warrior Saints movement. We're trying to give you the tools so that you yourselves might follow that path, so that you yourselves might become beacons of that light, so that you yourselves might also be able to boast of the Lord in all that you do, so that others might see what you're doing. Glorify your Father which is in heaven and follow the path that Christ has laid out for us. So we want you to join us at warriorsaints.org. And there you'll see a few ways that you can start getting on the way of the warrior saint. The first is through purchasing Father Chris's great book, The Way of the Warrior Saints, How to Live a Crucifixional Life, available at warriorsaints.org/book. It's like step one in the process of becoming a warrior saint. Next, you'll see also our offering, our weekly video library that is constantly growing. That is the Way of the Warrior Saint. That's where the rubber meets the road. That's where our words take action. And we become that beacon of light, that person who is going out in the world inviting others onto that same path, because we're all fighting the same fights. We're all trying to find what we know to be right, what we know to be what works, what we know to be the power of God. And we can only do that through the power of the cross. Third, you'll also see our Becoming Men series, which is specifically designed for young men between the ages of 13 and 19. And we're working on that right now, and there's going to be even more great stuff happening as time goes on. So visit us at warriorsaints.org as soon as this is over. Get on the way of the warrior saint. We'll be with you again tomorrow, and until then, keep walking on the way of the warrior saint.